Good day, everybody. It's TJ Jones, Conrad, and Jelani, and this is Inside Men. Today, we got a special episode for you. We talking about hypocrisy. Now, we talking about the Derek Jackson situation, Kirk Franklin situation. It doesn't deal with hypocrisy, but we have to talk about the active shooter situation that just happened in Boulder, Colorado. Now, Derek Jackson is a 31-year-old relationship guru. He has over 1 million followers, while his YouTube also has over 750,000 followers, subscribers. Now, I'm mentioning that because this man has a lot of influence in what he says and what he does. And as a relationship guru, he was caught cheating. Now, what are you guys' thoughts on that? I see you over there laughing, Jelani. What's your thoughts on that?
Fuck Derek Jackson, man. I'm happy. I can rejoice.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know who he was.
I can rejoice. Derek Jackson's a clown. He's a cornball. For years, he's been bashing M.E.N with his bullshit virtue signaling for women. Mm-hmm. It's probably how he got women that he's cheating on his wife with his foolishness, his corny ass one-man videos in his car, his damn shirts that don't fit. Can't stand that dude. He's such a clown, man. Such a clown. He's been a clown for years. I don't know one dude that has ever agreed with anything he says. He's a clown.
How long have you known him?
Years. This dude's been years.
Well, he is a social media celebrity, you would say, because I didn't know anything about him. Yeah. But what you about to say?
No. He's
a social media celebrity, so I didn't know anything about him, but I did read up on him, and a lot of the things that he said to do and not to do, he went against it. Now, do you think he's a hypocrite for that?
Absolutely. He's a fraud. And yeah, he's to me it's funny because he did spend time bashing M.E.N, and certain things he said, I was able to agree with, but when you have a platform that he has, when you build a brand doing what he does, as far as woman empowerment, trying to show women their worth and what to tolerate in a relationship, and all of that. He wrote books. He's made.
Yes, I did read that.
He's made an abundance of money. I don't know how much he's made, but I'm sure he's made an abundance of money, especially when you have 750,000, YouTube subscribers. And it's just you tailored your whole.
Most of them are women,
right? and you tailored your whole brand off of this, and you go against everything that you say.
But you gotta understand that the human flesh is weak.
Listen.
The human flesh is weak. And hear me out. What I mean by that is if you're saying these are the things that you do, these are the things that you should do to get a woman, the women are listening like, damn, this man got all the answers. I like this guy. And that's
manipulation.
The problem I had with him was not the things that he was saying. It was the fact that he was directing everything to women. If he was trying to make things better, he would have been talking to men.
The relationships in general.
Exactly. Men, this is what you need to do better. Men, not women, look out for this, look out for that, leave him if he does this, leave him.
Really?
Fuck that.
No, but what I need Derek Jackson to do right now, I need him to take his own advice and let that woman go.
Oh, he let her go, though.
No, he didn't. Him and his girlfriend, they made a video together. You should.
No, I saw the video. You talking about let which woman go?
His wife. He sits in his videos and he tells guys to let that girl go as far as their girlfriend.
If they happen to cheat on them?
Or if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, let her go so that another man can. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And it's time for him to take his own advice. Got Shorty on there looking crazy. Yeah. You see how you saw that video?
Well, then she made another one by herself, too.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
she gonna cheat on him back. You should see her face.
Think so?
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't do that though. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't come out. I don't feel the need to come out to apologize to anybody to explain my relationship.
He has no choice.
But you think she's going to come along with it? Well, she shouldn't do that.
Well, he coached her. They had conversations.
So?
Before they turned that camera.
I know they had conversations, but he didn't coach her to say what she said. He ultimately said that he didn't feel like the victim.
What do you mean?
That he said that he's not categorizing himself as the victim.
He wasn't going to victimize himself. He's not the victim.
Yeah, and that he cheated because he wanted to.
Right.
Now, me personally, there's two things that I will always say. Listen, don't get me wrong. I don't think that it's okay but I do understand why people cheat. But two things that I consider are a big no-no is one thing that he did, which is take somebody to your house. And another thing is have a baby with somebody. I think those are the big no-nos.
He had a baby?
No, he didn't have a baby, but he took somebody to his house.
Yeah,
everything
no,
he
for
did is a no-no because it goes against everything.
And there was multiple women. It wasn't just one woman.
multiple.
It
Yeah,
was multiple.
But
So
I can understand cheating, but when you do those, because my thing is, when you have a baby with somebody and when you bring somebody to your house, you're not trying to hide anything. You're out in the open. So that's the most disrespectful thing that I personally say that you can do to your partner, to your spouse. So the fact that he was out in the open, just didn't care. He took trips with girls to Miami. I don't know what he was telling his lady. Like, oh, I got a conference
I
in
don't
this
care
town.
about his lady. I care about all the women he's been lying to for all these years who've been following his BS advice.
You think they
I
heard?
wouldn't necessarily.
They knew what they was getting
No,
themselves
the
into.
fact that they were listening and following his advice.
I wouldn't
That's what I
necessarily
don't like.
say that he was lying because I was able to see a lot of truths in what he was saying. I just feel like it was a lot of misrepresentation. I feel like he wore an outfit that wasn't what he was. You know, he wore a hat that wasn't what he was. And, you know, when your brand is built off this and you go against your entire brand, your brand should suffer. He shouldn't be able to sit back and continue to live the lifestyle he wants. He's a liar.
He's got a book coming out, too. I
Right.
hope it flops.
Right.
Well, you know his next book after this is going to be My Mistakes.
I hope it flops. And then what I really didn't like, really didn't like was they was putting all the God, everything
yeah.
God. You're not gonna listen, bro. You ain't gonna soften this blow by throwing God's name in there.
That's what he did?
Yeah, him and his wife, both of them just talking about God. God ain't got nothing to do with this. He did this.
He said that, well, they said that they separated and she wound up taking him back because she saw the changes in him.
That's what they said. I don't listen. You got to understand when things happen, people tend to jump into damage control. And that's when they try to minimize all the damage that's been done. So you look at them. He's trying to save face. You understand what I'm saying? And while also saving face, he's trying to. What's the word I'm trying to use? I don't necessarily think they broke up. I don't. I think he got
in
caught.
general?
No, I think he got caught. I think they worked it out. And I think they tried to move on. And then Shorty, who he had the relationship with, blasted him. And that's when then it just came right back up in their face.
Because
but now
how did they find out?
somebody went on a talk show or something like that and had mentioned it. A radio
that they
radio
were dating
show
him?
basically said that she was messing with him.
Interesting.
Yeah, it spilled the beans. And then, you know, it came up in public. So I believe he did deal with it in private, but it showed his face in the public.
Now he said that not just having sex with women, but he said that he was having sexual flirtation, that he was checking in on women, just saying, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? How you been? Do you guys classify that as cheating as well, too?
Not checking in, but it depends on the manner in which you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? If you're checking in to see if somebody's doing okay, then no, I don't think that's a problem.
Because he said that everything he did you would classify as cheating.
Flirting, sexually, making innuendos, all of that is cheating.
He got caught up in the life.
Yeah.
He jumped on. It started out in his car making videos for Instagram, and he blew up. Decided to write books, got a lot of subscribers, started making some nice money, and the shit went to his head.
Well, temptation is real. The man is only 31 years old.
Right, I agree. But
So you doing this. Let's just say you doing this in your car, and you from a small town. You get that big buzz. Now you go into a big city, all 50 states, and now all the women are coming out of the woodwork saying, "I like this guy. The man is fit.
So
Don't make it okay.
yeah, so
The man now has money."
so
Doesn't
No.
matter. He's a relationship guru.
No. But that's what I'm saying. Is he a hypocrite?
Of course.
You got-
100%.
I don't believe that, because that's one word I don't believe in is a hypocrite, because everybody's a hypocrite to some degree because nobody's perfect at anything.
You can't be. It's like saying you're a police officer, but you're a serial killer. Like you can't be.
They are.
sitting
They
there
have
talking
been.
about and those people are hypocrites. You can't be a relationship guru and you're cheating on your wife.
So that means you have to stand by every single thing that you say.
Yeah,
But you got to understand that people grow and people cheat for different reasons.
it doesn't matter. Cheating is cheating. You cannot be sitting here schooling women about their bad relationships when you are sitting there cheating on your wife.
and that's where the big thing is. It's not that you cheated. It's that you get on social media and you paint a completely different image. You paint this. He has this good guy persona that he painted for the public when that's not what you are. And the guys you were talking about was you. That's why that's why you were.
That's why you're so knowledgeable.
Right, because you was explaining yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, but the bigger thing about it is, it's you have a brand, and your brand tailored towards something, and you came out as a liar, so your backlash is gonna come at you times 10. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody like him, I'm not giving him any excuses because, like I said, we talk about this all the time on the show where you gotta assess your risk reward. If you're making all this money and you've been able to change your life from just sitting in the driver's seat of your car, you were able to change your life. Why would you risk everything you've spent building the last couple years for 30 minutes worth of sex? You know what I'm saying?
Apparently this was going on for 4 years.
You had a whole relationship, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I feel like if anybody else can get canceled for going against what, their, thing is or their brand is, then I think he should too. I think, I'm not.
How you going to cancel social media?
Support. That's where he got the way he was at. Them 750,000 people that clicked that subscribe button on YouTube. Them people that push buy on that book. Your supporters. When your supporters turn their back on you, that's where you lose everything.
But they usually cancel you for something that's criminal. He ain't doing anything criminal.
He's going against what he stands for.
How can they take advice from him now?
Some people going to look at it like, you know what? He's a hypocrite. I don't like that word, but some people going to look at it like he's a hypocrite. And other people going to look at it like, you know what? He's human. I understand what he did. He's human.
Women?
Some women
You
would.
ever heard a woman say that before?
The woman say what?
About a dude cheating? You ever heard a woman say that? Oh, I understand. I get it.
That's not her man. So yeah, if it was actually his wife.
Have you ever heard a woman say that before?
No.
Exactly.
No. But that doesn't mean that it's not said.
The women who are following him are women who are having problems with their men.
You think all 750,000 women
Hell yeah.
had a problem with their man?
Shit, every woman in this damn world is probably having a problem with her man. So if they listening to him, they trying to figure out what maybe they're doing wrong, what they can do better, and you can't take advice from him no
just
more.
Looking for the signs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, when you listen to somebody, there's something that you like about what they do, or you like about something that they say. You like something that they say. So whether those women liked him because of how he looks or what he said, they followed him.
I think they liked him because he has something to offer. And whenever information, inside scoop on men. Anytime women gravitated towards Steve Harvey when he dropped his book. You know what I'm saying? Anytime a woman can get inside information on how men think, they're always going to gravitate towards.
So you think
he manipulated them?
Oh yeah, you think so? So you think people was throwing it at Steve too? Granted, he's older, but you think when his book came out,
absolutely,
women were throwing at him?
Steve was a celebrity. There's always going to be women out there that's going to throw it at you. But you know what I'm saying? If you're going to present yourself as this married man who's the son of God, and you're all about relationship success and woman empowerment and all this other stuff, and you turn around and you dogging your wife, and then you're going to put her on camera, throw it on the gram, throw it on Facebook, and throw it on YouTube, and basically you just have her looking foolish.
And she looked busted.
Right.
Could you even tell her to doll herself up a little bit first?
Had her looking foolish, on for his 1.4 million followers. And it's just, at the end of the day, bro, listen.
If you in a compromising situation, let's just say that he has his followers and he did, let's say, quote unquote counseling or something like that, and the person comes to him crying, sobbing, tears. Oh, my boyfriend did this, and leans on him. Many men can't resist that. Many men can't resist. You know what? Let's keep it professional. Some men's gonna be like, you know what? You lean on me, continue to lean on me. Let me stroke your ego, and after that, let me stroke you later. Just like that.
That's still not good.
It's not good. It's not good. But what I'm saying is that I understand why people cheat. That's what I'm saying. I understand why people cheat.
We all have plenty of reasons to cheat or to want to cheat, but that doesn't mean that
Jelani's famous line, "I cheat just to cheat."
Right. That doesn't mean that it's
I don't cheat. I don't do relationships.
No, well, that's what you said. If I'm a cheat,
That
I'm a
was
cheat
then.
just to cheat.
Yeah, that was then. But if I'm being in a relationship and if I'm be on camera talking this shit like him, I'm not gonna do what I did or what he did. So
Do you guys think that?
It's just like if you run a tax company or you run a job and it tailors towards something, and then reports come out that you're fucking up people's taxes or doing tax evasion or something. It's gonna ruin your credibility. And we live in a world where
It ruins your credibility, but I don't think that makes you a hypocrite, though.
it does, because we're in a world where your name is your name, and when people can't trust you or when your name is tarnished, everything else falls apart with it.
But when you are in any field in this entire world, when you are in any field in this entire world, and you are proficient at it, you know the ins and outs. So yes, you're supposed to do good, but you know all the things of not to do. So this man got a one up on everybody.
no, he doesn't because he got caught.
Well, I don't know what happened in that relationship. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't do something right. That way, that's the reason why she came out and said something. But he knows what to do and what not to do because he's in that field, and he didn't play his cards right. But do you got?
I just feel like he didn't take a calculated risk. I feel like the risk he took outweighed the reward. And 30 minutes of sex, or in his situation, 4 years worth of sex, to me, isn't worth the risk of losing everything that you've built. Because I'm sure when he started his car, diary session,
It was just the two of them and God.
Yeah, he could have been working a regular job. Now he's working for himself. He's built his own brand. You know what I'm saying? He probably speaks in front of a large crowd. He probably does a lot of big boy things. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it wasn't worth the risk.
That's
If he was
crazy,
smart, he would have divorced her first.
Right. It wasn't.
Divorced.
It's
Get
not
the
worth.
divorce.
It's not worth the risk.
And you talk about how it didn't work and things we could have did better and all that, and people still be soaking up your shit.
So that's just your livelihood, bro. And
Your name.
and your name, your livelihood. That's just how you eat. Sex should not trump how you eat, bro. And that's the problem with these men. They don't look at they so worried about what's going on in other places that you're willing to risk it all, bro. You spend all this time building this empire, and you know how quick you can lose it, and you're willing to risk it all over some sex. I don't get it.
Do you guys think that men and women can be friends? Because I don't think so.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think we can. I think they can.
Nah. The reason why I say I don't think men and women can be friends because I think I said it before. There's always a situation where somebody is attracted to the other person.
No, there's not.
Hear me out. There's always a situation, and this is my belief. There's always a situation where somebody's attracted to the other person. So whether it's the guy attracted to the woman or the woman attracted to the woman, and they throw it out there, and once it's declined, then now you know this relationship will never go anywhere. And now we can be friends. But
No,
initially,
you can't be
I feel
friends
like
once you put it out there.
Say it again.
You can't be friends.
That's
once
not
you put
true.
it out there.
Yeah, once
That's
you
not
put
true.
it out there, that's when
No,
we
that's
can't
not
be
true.
friends.
That's not true because now I know where you stand. You know where I stand. We're not going to be together. We could be friends.
You should have known where we stood when we met. If we met as friends, and I got a situation or whatever the case it may be, then
No, I'm talking about just two single people.
assume your position, bro. And it's just no. If I present myself to you and we formulate a friendship, then leave it as that. And that's the problem with men. Men always trying to make every relationship with a woman sexual to some extent. And then you alter the landscape of the entire relationship. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's nothing wrong with attraction. We're human. You're going to be attracted to people. It's what you do with that attraction.
Correct.
I have a job. I want to quit my job and work somewhere else. Is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. Wanting to quit your job isn't a problem. Having feelings is not a problem. It's when you act on it that it becomes a problem. So it all comes down to self-control, which most people don't have.
Derek Jackson, who? You hear this man over here? That's the gospel.
That's it. This ain't got no control, bro.
But can you really have control with 750,000?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Self-control. It's self-control.
That's a lot. That's a
It's
lot.
self-control.
That's a lot.
Don't put them on the pedestal. If you're that famous, you have to learn to suspect that all these women want you because you're famous, and this can get messy.
Yes.
That
That
shit
I
can
agree.
always get messy. Ask Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, because he up to
Is that his name,
14
Deshaun
right
Watson?
now.
Nah,
Yeah,
he up to
Deshaun Watson.
22.
No, you're right. Up to 22. I just saw
Yeah,
14.
but I think only
Yeah.
like 14 are filed or something like that.
Yo.
It's at the point where Chase is like,
Yo.
I massaged him. I feel
I feel like
uncomfortable.
that lawyer's like driving around with like a megaphone.
Right.
If you came in contact with Deshaun Watson,
Please come forward.
Call me now.
This guy got Bill Cosby numbers, man. Every week it's a new woman. It's a new chick coming forward. This is crazy.
I hope it's not true.
14, 22 women? Come on, man. But it's crazy because till this day, there's still no criminal charges.
But the lawyer said he was going to get a package together today. No, not today. Yesterday, Monday. He was going to get a package together to take down to the whoever you take it to try to file charges. But the cases have no merit. It's going to be handled in civil court. It can't go criminal. You know, when you're looking at a criminal case, it's unreasonable doubt, and that's going to be hard to prove off of lack of true evidence. Like there's no damning text messages. There's you can't just go off somebody's word, and you know
That's what it's basically going off of.
They're
word.
gonna have to go off of civil. You know how it goes, preponderance of the evidence. So it's just it requires a little less to be convicted in civil court. He's gonna end up having to open up his wallet. He's probably gonna get suspended by the NFL, but
hopefully he get a good contract because he about to spend some ducats.
He just got a good contract.
yeah, he just sounds like 150.
But he about to get traded. Well, at least he wants to get traded.
That's what he wanted.
That's if anybody's gonna want to trade him. He gonna get suspended off of this.
Yeah, they about to
Yeah.
Mike Vick him. They want Michael Vick.
Especially if
him
he
quick.
settles. Especially if he settles. He's gonna get suspended. Especially when the NFL's finished with their investigation.
But
Nobody's
they
touching
want
him.
6 figures. 22 women gonna want 6 figures. You
It's
know,
a lot.
NFL players, their contracts are not hefty because
fact, yeah.
of
No, he's a
the
quarterback.
lifespan of a
Quarterback,
professional.
So his is different, but
Meaning
I mean he makes the most.
that's still hefty, man.
Yeah, I mean shit. That shit is crazy.
But we talking about hypocrites, and also in the media this past week, Kirk Franklin was also in the media as far as him cursing out his son. Now his son is in his 30s. He's a grown man, and he's cursing out his son. Now Kirk Franklin released a video apologizing for cursing out his own son. Me personally, I have 2 sons. I'm not apologizing. If I said something to my sons, I meant what I said to my sons. And ain't nobody going to tell me to apologize to my sons, especially if they disrespectful to me and they grown men.
Yeah, but you don't have a multi-million-dollar gospel empire.
That
you're
doesn't mean
worried
nothing.
about.
That
Of course
doesn't
it
mean
does.
nothing. So what am I supposed to do? Allow my son to disrespect me?
No, it's not about your son. It's about the people who are following you who might be offended by what you said.
Okay. Then you're going to be offended because guess what? At the end of the day, I'm human. The reason why I don't like the word hypocrite is because when you're a hypocrite, it doesn't allow the person to be a human. I'm human. I make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
Being a hypocrite is part of being a human. Only humans can be hypocrites. Dogs can't be hypocrites.
See, but while I agree with you, and everybody is a hypocrite to some extent, it's normally harped on the people who have hard stances on particular things. If your mom is sitting back and she's adamant about you not smoking cigarettes, and she's just comes down on you, but then you see her in the backyard smoking cigarettes, it's just, yo, you go so hard when it
But
comes.
why is she a hypocrite? She just letting you know,
Because-
hey, you shouldn't do this because of my experience.
Because the
Hypocrite is the term for those people.
Right. The
That's why
definition
she's a hypocrite.
definition of a hypocrite is telling somebody not to do something and then doing it yourself. So it's just, like I said, everybody's hypocrite. You tell somebody not to come in to work late, but you might end up coming into work. That's circumstantial. It's the shit where people have hard stances on certain things, and then you find out that they're doing the complete opposite. Where it's just like, I don't even respect you no more.
But what is his stance? Just being the gospel, just being the son of God?
Who, him?
Yeah, Kirk
Honestly,
Franklin.
how I feel about it, I don't care. I actually have a problem with the fact that people are upset at the fact that he's talking to his son in the manner in which he's talking to him.
Just like you said before, this world is moist. It's soft.
Right, because it's soft. Yeah,
Listen,
like,
the things that were said to me growing up, the things that were done to me growing up, is a cupcake compared to, it's like, come on, man. What they said to him is a cupcake compared to what happened to me.
everybody's involved in everybody's business, and this is the most annoying part about this era that we're in, where information moves around the world faster than you could put your pants on your legs. Everybody got something to say, and how somebody decides to raise their kids, talk to their kids, is none of your concern. As long as they're not publicly beating them, and I say publicly because inside houses, people beat their kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as they're not publicly beating them, what they say, the choice of words they choose to use is none of your concern. Move on.
The only thing I have a problem with is that the son leaked it. That's some
Bitch ass move.
Yeah, no. Speaking of it, I would agree the same thing. You got to keep that in the household.
Everybody up here recording each other secretly. Everybody up here recording conversations on FaceTime, recording conversations on cell phones, screen recording text conversations, sharing them shits with other people. Like, bro, there's a huge lack of privacy in this world, yo.
The fact that he recorded that, he would have got his ass beat at the moment I saw him. The moment I saw him.
Your son?
I'm stomping him out. Like, you're not even in the family no more. Like,
right.
I'm
Talking about you gonna do what to him?
I'm disowning him.
No, what you said?
Fuck out. Like,
Kurt Franklin and I'm cutting everything.
Kurt Franklin got a song stomp.
Cut off.
Kurt Franklin got a song stomp.
Are you with me?
Stomp.
I'm cutting shit off,
bro.
If you getting money, if I'm paying certain things, I'm cutting it off.
Nah, but he's 32. I think he's 32. He's in his 30s. What you gonna cut off?
Whatever financial help I may be providing.
Yeah. But at 32, he shouldn't be 30s. I don't know his exact age, but if he's in 30s, he shouldn't be living at home with you.
Nah,
but I understand that. But I understand that Kirk Franklin is a multimillionaire, so I'm sure that he has money. So yes, you're not getting none of my money anymore.
You're done. You change your last name. Like you
I don't know. Like these personal situations that get played out over social media is disturbing to me, bro.
Do you think he was bullied?
Who?
Did it sound like he was being bullied? Because I don't think so. Did he feel bullied?
The son?
His son.
No, he was
It's
trying
your dad, bro. Come on,
him.
man.
He
Yeah,
was trying
that's
to
all it was.
basically say this man of God is listening to these things he's saying. But I'm pretty sure the boy was egging him on, done something that he wasn't supposed to do. It wasn't like he just called him up and was like, I'm gonna curse my son out today.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So fuck him. That was stupid.
Everybody, like I said, everybody wants to take things and play private situations out on social media, bro. That shit's weird. It like you see it all over with celebrities and their kids. You see it with 50 and his son, bro. It's weird.
That's terrible.
It's weird.
That's terrible. Even Dwight Howard's son came out and said, "Oh, my dad." What
his
is he
mother
like?
made him say that. Yeah,
but he's like, what? What is he? Preteen or something like that?
He's gonna be mad at his mom when he get older.
You think so?
Do that? Hell yeah. Like you don't do that. You shouldn't. She shouldn't.
You don't think he did that on his own?
Hell no. He did that. The mother was talking. Right. It was right during the bubble.
Yeah.
The mother was talking. Oh, Dwight Howard ain't seeing his son. Now all of a sudden the son is speaking. Boy, sit your ass down. You got everything you got because of your father. So sit your ass down.
That's a whole fact.
So that what was said with the Dwight Howard situation, his son came forward and said that his father isn't a good father to him and that he takes care of his other children and not him. So that's the situation.
That's the mother. That's brainwashing. Listen, I bet you that same kid is saying that because the mother isn't getting as much money because it always comes down to the dollar. That's what makes you a good dad to these people. You understand what I'm saying? How much you can put out. The amount of money you spend does not make you a good or bad father, doesn't? So it comes down to shit like that.
I want to give a shout out to Omar Epps. Omar Epps got a book out right now that I'm actually in the process of reading. It's called Fatherless to Fatherhood. It's basically stating that just because you're in the household doesn't mean that you're an active father. Doesn't mean that you're a good father. You have to be actively in your children's life, And I'm reading the book. It's a really good book. And anybody that's going through any situation like that, as far as not having your father and now having children, it's a good book. It's a good read. But I hate social media. Social media was good because I remember back in the day when you have to go look for a job. You have to go to each business. Hey, are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring? Look in the newspaper, browse online or something like that. Then it made it so much easier where you could just send your resume to so many different places. So back in the days, it was a situation where you probably gave 5 businesses your resume. But when you go online, now I could give 25 businesses my resume because they're online. It makes it easily accessible. But that's the bad word, easily accessible. Social media allows stalking. You can go on Instagram. Instagram is nothing but pictures and videos. You could go on there, follow a chick that you never met, follow a dude that you never met.
So whose fault?
And just look at their pictures all day.
Whose fault? If social media allows stalking, whose fault is that? The stalker or the person who's allowing themselves to be stalked? Because my thing is, you don't have to post where you're at the exact moment of where you're
No,
at.
it's not about. I'm not talking about post where you at. I'm just talking about post your pictures.
But that wouldn't be stalking.
Why?
Stalking to me is following somebody online and you see they posted on their Instagram story that they at a brunch restaurant and you decide you want to pull up to the restaurant.
So you don't think stalking on social media will be like, yo, this particular person, I'm going to look at their pitch, the pictures that they're posting.
No, that's why sexual assault is confusing, bro. Because everybody
think so?
No, I don't think that's stalking.
Yes, they're there for my friends.
Then make them private.
Right.
People want clout. That's what they want. They want clout. They got to post everywhere they are, everywhere they go, everything they do. Look at what happened to Pop Smoke. Like, stop the clout chasers. Just move in silence.
Do you like social media?
I mean, I like it. I'm not addicted to it. Like, some people can't put the phone down. They got to be scrolling through some timeline or something. It's cool. It's I use it it's for entertainment for me. So like, it's nothing serious like that. Like I use my Facebook account to troll people. Like I troll racists all day sometimes. Right. Like, it's fun, but I'm not like hooked on it. Like, if all social media was gone tomorrow, I wouldn't care.
Do you think that Kirk Franklin is a hypocrite?
No, I think he's just a person. Like, he doesn't curse in his music. That don't mean he don't curse in real life, in his personal life. I think his son is a hypocrite.
But going back to what you said, Con, when you do certain things and when you say certain things, you're held to a higher standard. So, in people's eyes, you can do no wrong. But
I mean, as long as I didn't see him doing anything that's against what he stands for, you know what I'm saying? He ain't get caught in a hotel room with 4 or 5 girls smoking, drinking, doing lines off shorty's butts and having sex and violating his marriage amongst 1,000 other different things. So it's just, if your son's a bitch ass nigga, you just calling him what he is.
But I don't like the fact that he came out. It was many years ago when he came out when he said he had a porn addiction. Keep that to yourself. I think that he came out because of his profession and who he is. But he didn't have to do that.
He was doing that to talk to his people. He was telling them that porn used to affect his life.
Yeah.
He found God.
I thought he was already in gospel.
No, he had a porn addiction back
prior to
when he was like younger. Yeah,
I know he had the porn addiction, but that was prior to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was prior to. Yeah, but
I don't see no problem with it. If that's what he wants to tell, that's his business. Like,
but lastly, we have to talk about the mass shooting that has taken place in Boulder, Colorado, and we're going to just give a moment of silence for the victims. Now, in Boulder, Colorado, there were 10 people who were killed, including a police officer. And this guy, Ahmed Alisa, this guy is only 21 years old. 21 years old. And we talked about this last week as far as gun control and mental health. Now, his family is saying that he has mental issues, that he was bullied in school, and he always felt that somebody was watching him and following him. And he used mental health. I feel like that's an scapegoat. I feel like everybody tries to use mental illness as an excuse to commit a crime for leniency. And that's not going to work all the time. His brother stood by him and said, I've never seen him to have a gun. Never seen him play with a gun. His sister-in-law, on the other hand, said that she saw him playing with a gun 2 days prior. 2 days prior to the incident. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going through this person's head. I don't know what's going on in the world. But I also looked into it. Colorado gun laws. Now, Colorado allows a person to carry a firearm in a vehicle if it's useful for lawful protection of such person or another person's property. Colorado also allows a person to possess a handgun in a dwelling, place of business, or automobile. However, when you carry the weapon in your home, business, or hotel, it must be in plain view. So I'm literally supposed to walk around in plain view and let you guys know that I have a weapon. Are you approachable at that point? Because I'm not going to approach anybody that I know has a weapon and that's showing that they have a weapon?
Well, when they say have it in plain view, that means like, have it holstered and have your holster shown, like not like having it in your hand walking down the street.
No, I know that, but still, I'm not. Listen, the reason why I say that is because anything that I say to you can tick you off. I don't know what kind of day you having.
But see, the thing about it is you got to look at the perspective in that. You're from New York. You're from a city where we have strict gun laws, and the average person doesn't walk around with guns. Where if you live in a city where that's your norm, you probably walking around with a strap too. So that's just your norm.
But that's dangerous.
But that's your norm. That's
I get what you're saying, but that's dangerous, and it's crazy because 10 days prior, they blocked the ban against assault weapons just a week prior, where they could have banned it. Now, who's to say that he had it prior to the 10 days or he got it after? Either way, they banned it. I'm sorry?
He got it a week before.
He got it a week before? Before they banned it?
Before the shooting.
This is terrible, man. This is terrible.
Listen, it comes down to what are we gonna do about domestic terrorists? Everybody wants to take it and they want to spin it around and make it about other things. Stop Asian hate, stop this, stop that. No, it's white domestic terrorists, bro. It's the common denominator in every fucking problem that's going on in this country. Every mass shooting is a white man, respectfully, not even on no racial stuff, but it's a white person. And they're never deemed thugs. They're deemed somebody who has mental problems. And, everybody deviates from the problem of guns and white domestic terrorists. And that's what needs to be addressed and nothing else. It's never going to stop.
What confuses me, and I wasn't there, so I don't know the full story. I know just as much as everybody else from the media, but how is it that this man was able to get arrested? How is he still alive? That's the part that I don't understand. In addition to
skin color is not a threat.
In addition to killing 10 people, one
And
of
a
the
cop.
people is a police officer with 7 children. 7 children.
Because his skin color is not a threat. Bro, call a spade a spade. Somebody got their neck sat on for 9 minutes, and somebody can go into a supermarket, body multiple people, and still walk out with their life. But you can sit on somebody else's neck for 9 minutes. Mind you, we know what it's about.
I don't understand. I'm not saying by any means. I'm not saying by any means that he should have been killed, that I want anybody to kill him. Human life is precious. But why?
We want that same consideration when it's a minority who commits a crime. Like you said, we don't
Exactly.
want nobody to get killed.
No.
But when a minority commits a crime, we want that day in court as well. Let us have that day in court. Don't hold court in the street.
To at least explain ourselves.
Don't hold court in the street. Because cops hold court in the streets when it comes to minorities. Hispanics and blacks, they hold in court in the street. White person gets their day.
What's classified as a mass shooting is a minimum of 4 people killed, injured. And over the past week, there's been several. In Atlanta, they had the 8 people, including 6 Asian women, were killed at the spa. Then in Stockton, California, you have 5 people who were killed, who were shot in a drive-by. In Oregon, you got 4 people who were taken to the hospital after a shooting there. In Houston, you have 5 people who were shot at a disturbance. In Dallas, you had 8 people who were shot and killed. And then Philadelphia, you have 5 people. And this is all within a 1-week span.
And most of those states have gun laws where you can walk around and carry. And it comes down to the guns. And until we decide to do something with that, this isn't going anywhere. It's going to be a problem. This is America.
Will that ever change?
No. Because
That's
nobody
crazy.
wants to address the problem. They want to address everything around the problem but the problem.
So this guy here, the judge, Andrew Hartman, he ruled that the city cannot enforce abandoning the possession and transfer or sale of assault weapons and large capacity magazines, citing in 2003 law that bars local governments from prohibiting possession of sale of firearms. So basically, because of a law he couldn't do it. So he said the whole state has to do it. So the whole state now need to get together and ban it.
The whole country.
Just like you said. All right, you want to have a listen. We have the right to bear arms. I understand that. We have the right to bear arms. I also understand that people have to protect themselves, their property, their loved ones. But what's the purpose? Like you said, what's the purpose of an assault weapon? What's the purpose of an assault rifle?
To kill people.
Yeah.
And that's why people sit up there like, listen. It's people. It's people. Guns aren't the problem. It's the people. You need to not allow people to have access to the guns. Guns aren't killing people. People are killing people. It's like people like to blame technology for things that happen to mankind. Technology is not doing anything to us. Why? Because it takes man to update technology.
Correct.
It's people. And that's the problem. And until you can address that, it's not going anywhere. Just protect yourself. Have your eyes open. Keep your head on a swivel. You never know when it's sad, man. You can't go shopping, bro. Like you just trying to get groceries, bro. You just trying to get groceries.
You can't.
Can't see a movie. You can't go to a Madden event. You can't go to a fair. You can't go to a club. You can't do anything without having to worry about dodging fucking gunshots.
Your head is always on a swivel. You don't know where it's coming from. Bullet has no name, so you don't know where it's coming from, and you don't know if you're the target or you just another victim when something happens to you. It's a tough situation. And most importantly, it's a sad situation.
It's sad because we all get up. We all grown. We all get up because we have to run to the store to get something real quick. Mm-hmm. And that shit could have been any of us, yo.
But the situation is, because if it ever happens, which I strongly doubt, and we all strongly doubt, if it ever happens, that it's going to take years for them to change all the gun laws. Years. In addition to that, people are not getting rid of their guns.
Yeah, it's not
so
happening.
what Jelani said last week, there needs to be a better processing system when people try to apply for a gun.
So then what happens? What happens when a fucked up kid just gets a gun from a friend or breaks into their mom's or parents' safe or whatever, or in their room and take their assault rifle and go shoot some shit up? Listen, if people
at that situation, I'm listening.
If people are gonna do something, they're gonna find a way to do it. The only way to prevent them from doing it is removing removing what's allowing them to do it, and that's the gun. Jail time isn't a deterrent. They're still walking around with guns.
Not even that. When you go to jail, you incarcerated and you're away from things, but you still have access to things. Yeah. They have cell phones,
especially
they have social
jail.
media. Yeah.
Seeing videos of dudes living good in jail.
Yes. So American jail is a joke compared to these foreign countries.
Oh,
and they would tell you that 100%.
Absolutely.
It's a joke. But
we have a gun problem in this country, and we had this conversation before. We have a gun problem in this country, but our country's history, the culture, American culture, is guns.
White culture.
Absolutely.
I was born in the 80s and raised in the 90s. Well, you got a problem with somebody? Throw your hands. We're gonna fight. But not in the to the point where I want to go get a gun. I want to shoot somebody because I'm having a bad day. No, bad days come and go. If I ever have a bad day myself, I'm going to the gym. I'm working out. That's it. Or I'm going to play some ball. That's it. I'm not picking up no gun for what? You got to understand that having a bad day is temporary. It's temporary. Mental illness, take your pills. Some people don't want to take their medication. Some people don't.
People are undiagnosed.
But it's up to the people that's around you to speak up and say something. Don't just say something after it happens. Like, oh, I think he had a mental illness. All right, no problem. You think he had a mental illness? Then what did you do about it? Oh, I didn't do anything. See, partially your fault.
Because people don't want to deal with people that got mental problems. That's what it comes down to. They don't
It's
want to
partially
deal
your
with them,
fault.
and they don't know how to deal with them. But
how do you deal with somebody like that? Or how would you, I should say?
I don't have any experience dealing with anybody that has mental problems.
But maybe that person feels the same way. Like, I don't know. I've never dealt with anybody.
If it's your,
so it's a growing process.
If it's your son,
yeah.
Then depending on when they got diagnosed, then, you have experience. I don't, fortunately for myself, at least what I know, nobody in my family, suffers from any real type of, mental health issues. So I don't have firsthand experience with it. I've seen people, friends or family members of friends go through certain things, but in my household, I don't have any experience with that.
But when I think about mental illness, I think about bipolar. I think about schizophrenia. I think about autistic. I think about those things. I don't think about getting bullied. Growing up, I was on both sides of that. I bullied people and I was bullied growing up. Like, no, I'm not going to use that as a mental illness. That's not a mental illness.
That's you. That's just you.
That's a mental illness?
Somebody can be bullied and develop some type of issue from it.
Well, he did say that he felt like people were always watching him.
I mean, he sounds like he's probably got some schizophrenia or something in there. But
some paranoia.
But you gotta understand though, you live to fight another day.
You can't say somebody who may be mentally ill should understand.
What would the doctor diagnose you as if you're getting bullied?
I don't know.
But you don't know the challenges that person is taking on a daily basis.
100%. 100%. That I do know. That I do know. His brother also said that he went as far as he would be on his computer and he went as far as duct taping the
camera.
The camera.
Paranoia.
Yeah.
It's paranoid.
He was paranoid.
Absolutely.
He was paranoid.
Can you fault him? Everything is bugged to a degree. Like, I'm on my phone looking at certain things on my Google browser and it pops up on Instagram and Facebook.
What's that?
Anything.
Uh-huh.
I could be looking up fucking houses and I get on Facebook and real estate shit's popping up on my Facebook as I'm scrolling down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just there's a log of everything, and you got people that feel that way. They feel the government's tapped in, or they feel whatever reasons they feel. I don't know.
I just feel like a few years ago, people came forward and they admitted that they have a mental illness, and now I feel like people are using that to get by.
I just sit back and I just see that whenever I just feel like mental illness, in the media is race driven. And I just feel like whenever a black person or minority commits a crime, they're just fucking thugs. And whenever a white person commits a crime, it's mental health. They're not thugs. They're not anything. They have mental health problems. And we, the people, need to come together and help people that have mental problems. But if a minority kills somebody, they're a fucking thug, throw them in jail, and they're guilty.
Facts. You know how many people in the black community got mental health issues that will go undiagnosed for their entire life? Mm-hmm. Like, motherfuckers ain't just so angry for no reason.
The perception's different.
They just don't know why they're angry. Exactly. So they just gonna call us a thug. Kid had a hard life, so let's send him to prison. The privileged kid who might also have mental illness, we're gonna give him a chance. But this kid is hard, so we just gonna send him in there with the adults and fuck his life up even more.
Even when we came down here, we had a conversation about perception. That's one word that I dislike as well, because you would look at the minority and say, "Oh, I expect them to be this way because of perception of how they were raised." Versus, "Oh, I would expect this white man to live this particular way or to have this amount of money." Where there are white people who are poor. There are white people who are rich, but there are white people who are poor.
Yeah, that's media propaganda, though. That's media propaganda.
Yeah, it's all media driven, Go ahead.
That's why you'll have people come from other countries and already have stereotypes against black people, and they never met a black person in their life. Because everything they see is, the black people are the bad ones. If in reality, we know that's not the case.
It's all media driven. If you want to get a message out, you go to the media. That's why whenever shit happens, people go to the media first. Why? Because the media has the biggest outreach. They say, and this is why the media is so powerful, he who controls the information controls perception. Control perception, you control the people. And that's the influence the media has.
Hold on. That was so good. You got to say it again.
I said, they say he who controls the information controls perception. Control perception, you control the people. If you can control how somebody looks at a particular situation, you can control them. That's why people are always quick to go to the media. Because if you get them on your side, you get perception on your side. You understand what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So the media has a lot of influence, and that's what it comes down to.
That's one thing I don't like about a rumor, because for a rumor to get spread, there's two things. I have to like who you are as a person, or I have to discredit who you're talking about.
Yep.
I have to like who you are as a person and say, you know what? I like Khan. Khan is a truthful man. He's not gonna lie to me. So what he's telling me is the truth. Or he could be talking about Jelani. I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about Jelani. I don't like Jelani. You know what? It gotta be true. And if it's not, I'ma spread it.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So those are the two reasons why a rumor exists. And just like what you said about the perception and everything else, man. This is a crazy world, and we got a lot of work to do. I don't even think we scraped the surface, man. Even from back in the days, from the 80s to the 90s, slavery, I don't think we scraped the surface because there's so much crime that's taking place, and yet there's still not the same treatment. It's not the same treatment.
Nothing's gonna change.
No, nothing's gonna change. What they're gonna keep doing is they're just gonna keep paving out bumpy roads. They're never gonna really try to fix the situation. We're just gonna throw some fucking concrete.
Would you ever take a position in office to be a politician?
No.
Would you? And why not?
They're controlled.
Say it again?
Can't make a difference.
No, they controlled.
You don't think you can make a difference?
No, the president can't make a difference. The president can't do anything without Congress or the Senate signing off. Like, it doesn't. It's stupid.
But you already know what it is. To see change, you got to be a part of the change.
100%.
So it may not be, even Tupac said it, it may not be him that changed the world, but something that he says is going to spark somebody, to spark something.
Tupac would have a better chance of making a difference than a politician because Tupac has more power than a politician.
He was real. But that doesn't mean that if you become a politician, you won't have power.
You don't have power.
It's who you are as a person that people gravitate towards.
As a politician, the power you have is your ability to network with people.
Let me ask you a question. How much power does Derek Jackson have? A whole lot. But who is he? Nobody. He's a social media.
A celebrity has more power than a politician because a celebrity has other humans following them. They can guide them in a different direction, whereas a politician has to go campaign and get you to trust them before they can go and not do the thing they told you they were going to do.
Right.
A celebrity sent out a tweet, hey, everybody go vote. Everybody go vote for such and such. Oh, this person is a piece of shit. Don't like him. Or you attack that celebrity, all their fans are attacking you. So, you know what I'm saying? So a politician has to at least look like they're doing things within the scope of the law. But in reality, when they get stuff done, it's because they've got friendships.
Yep.
Like Donald Trump in the House. I'm going to get every bill passed that I want because Republicans got the power right now. Whereas when you looked at the election, the Democrats were so thirsty for to win that Georgia runoff because they wanted to have all the power so they can push their agenda. So it's like the whole political thing for me, the two-party system, I don't like it. I understand why it's in place, but I don't like it because you're constantly going to have agendas. You know, and you're going to lie to your constituents and tell them we're doing this for you, we're doing that. Biden already going back on so many things.
It's just, the way I see it is there's a lack of progress. And the reason why I say that is a Republican could get into office, he could spend 4 or 8 years in there, spend 4 or 8 years unraveling what the previous administration did and implementing his shit. By the time he gets his shit going, he out of office, a Democrat wins, and now he spends 2-3 years trying to unravel everything that last person did to start his shit. And it's just, it's no real progress because whenever you get it going, your term is up, and then the next person that gets in is trying to unravel everything you did, which is pulling you right back to square one.
That's why everybody try to fight for 2 terms because that first term is just to try to.
How about everybody get on the same page?
How about everybody fight for the people?
Right.
Like,
all for one, one for all. If we for the people, then it should all be about the betterment of the people and the betterment of the country. Yeah. But it's not about that. The people that keep the country running, it's not about them. It's about the people that got the most money in their accounts. That's the problem with this country.
Yeah, a two-party system means you don't represent everybody in this country. You represent the people from your party.
Correct.
Like, so that. What about everybody else? We're gonna leave them out. They could maybe elect somebody next time.
The people that keep this country afloat get the least amount of respect. The people that sit behind office and do nothing get the most. It's ass backwards.
It's crazy because going back to the mass shooting. They said in 2020, that now we all know that was a year of COVID, but they said in 2020 there was 0 mass shootings. 0.
Everybody was locked up.
Now that we are in a time where COVID is not such of a risk that within 1 month you got 7 shootings, 7 mass shootings.
Oh, and it's only gonna get worse because summertime's around the corner, and you already know how it get when summertime come around. And the fact that
You talking
COVID,
about mass shootings or regular shootings?
mass and regular,
Okay.
and you know the reason why is because COVID is still prevalent. Things are still not going to be 100% open. Only in these dumbass states like Florida, and then they see what happens over the weekend, and we're never going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the same thing. 'Cause people still ain't going to have nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? And people, they want to be outside. They don't care about COVID anymore. They don't care about lockdowns. They want to be outside. And mask season is still going on. People don't care. I'm going to be in my house unless I got something to do. I don't chill in the street, bro. If I don't got something to do, I don't go outside.
I agree. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this show up.
Yo, everybody, go to the YouTube InsideMen podcast. Go check us out. The live audio of us inside the studio is up there. Go leave a comment. Go watch it. Go subscribe to us. Come holler at us. Go check out the IG as well. InsideMen, inside_M.E.N. Follow us. We follow back. Just come support what we doing, and we gonna give back. We gonna give a lot back.
All right, guys, we're going to leave you out with one last message. A hypocrite is a person who professes beliefs and opinions that he or she does not hold in order to conceal his or her real feelings or motives. The word hypocrite exists because no one person is perfect. No one person is perfect because we all face challenges. Never judge a book by its cover and allow people to make their own mistakes. Once you put yourself in another person's shoes, you don't have to agree nor disagree with their decision, but you have a better understanding of why they did what they did and said what they said. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Sweet life. We out.